You brought the lobster?
I brought the lobster.
You brought the crab legs?
And the crab legs.
What the?
I made that shit from
Dude, that shit was good.
Asian party.
Welcome to Asian Party.
You guys, hello. Welcome to the first ever podcast session of Asian Party. It's so crazy we're actually here.
Absolutely. We're so excited to share this podcast with you guys. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Nina. Basically, I am a social media guru and content creator.
AKA picky ass food eater.
For real. That, honestly, I'm not going to say nothing. But yes. And Nikki, you obviously.
I'm a recruiter by day, and I'm currently working on building my own business, becoming an entrepreneur, and a micro-influencer digital creator.
And, you know, she's also AKA like a ray of sunshine, also like the cheerleader of the world, also like everybody's bestie, like low-key anything and everything she's experienced in. So if you're,
She's just being too nice.
All lovable girl. Honestly, no, don't even let her try to break me down on that. But yeah, so we just wanted to thank you guys so much for joining us for our first ever podcast. We're so excited. Just a little bit about Asian Party so you guys can kind of know, obviously, like why Asian Party. So basically on this channel, we want to continue to, you know, like basically empower, educate, and bring light to not just the Asian community, but people involved in the Asian community, as well as anything and everything outside that does affect the Asian community as well.
Absolutely. All are welcome here. And we'll also be bringing in special guests for specific podcasts.
Some very exciting guests.
Well. So really excited about that and kind of what we have in store for you guys.
Yup. Including playing some of our Asian Party featured games.
Yes. And our introducing our disown button. And obviously Asian families, right?
Some of you guys are like, what? Disown.
Yes,
I think maybe Asian people might relate to that a little bit, just a little bit. So yes, we're really excited to share like a ton of great things, as well as obviously content we'll be creating for you guys, and also our channel, not just podcast, but our Instagram and everything else. We're really highlighting the Asian community as well. So today for our topic, our first official Asian Party podcast topic is why Asian Party and why now?
Yeah, that's a very great question.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. Honestly, why Asian Party? So honestly, I came out to LA. I kind of want to talk about my story. Moving out to LA from Minnesota, and you know, just kind of finding my purpose. I was 25 years old.
Yeah.
When I moved out here. So a quarter of a century.
Why at 25? Like, what was like, okay, forget it. I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh. There was so much going on. I moved here during year 2020. So literally the pandemic.
Yeah.
November 2020.
Right. During COVID.
Yeah. So it was really interesting. You know, like I had already been planning everything. Like at the start of 2020, I was like, I'm going to move out to LA. Actually, when I was younger, I always imagined myself out here in the West because I knew like this is where I need to be. This is who I am. I just know I'm meant to be out here and do something. I grew up in the corporate world, so I always worked for corporate. So that was kind of the dream, right? Like come out here, work for these big corporate companies. So I worked really hard to get to that point. And then being out here, when I moved out here in November of 2020, I also always had this creative side to myself. I always had a creative aspect. I always looked at things a little differently than my family members or my friends or the people that I grew up with. It was just a little bit different. I just knew, like, I was tapped out of
you
Minnesota.
were, like, channeling your inner energy. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
But nobody else could see the vision.
Yes, absolutely. So, honestly, okay, sorry, off topic. Why Asian Party, though? So I recently just came back from visiting home, and
in
Minnesota, yep. So I was just driving in the car, you know, with some music on, and obviously meeting you. We've only been, we met each other last November
Yes.
for Friendsgiving. And we met each other. We played Mafia. That shit was so cool.
Oh, hell yes.
That was so fun.
Okay, so yeah, I'm like a little backstory on that. We didn't even explain how we met, which we will, but that's actually how Asian Party started. It's actually because we met. Like literally, but we'll get to that. And so
We'll get to that. So, Asian Party. So I was just driving in the car, vibing to some great music, and I was just like, you know what, like, Nina and I vibe so well together. Like, what can I do to, like, what can we do together where we can create a foundation, a platform? What would stick? Like, what would stick? I think about, like, my inspirations, like other podcasters. I also think about really great groups, people in music, like 88 Rising.
Oh my God, I love 88 Rising so much.
Love them. They're so dynamic. I also love all of the, different businesses and small businesses, but also publications or just media companies that are supporting Asian voices. And so in the car, I was just jamming the music, and I'm like, you know what? It would be so cool to start a foundation or platform or podcast called Asian Party. So when I got back to California, I was like, yo, Nina, check this out. And I love that she was just on it. She was like, yes. And I feel like this is the moment. That was the moment when I was like, okay.
You're like, this is it.
This is it. It's going to be with her, So super excited. And honestly, we already kind of talked about it, but it's going to be a platform to empower everyone, empower, the young generation, and just bring light to a lot of different topics and even struggles that we kind of encounter growing up as Asians or even today in modern day.
Agreed. And I think the biggest thing for us too is inclusion. I mean, we don't really. I mean, how many Asian groups and parties out there do you guys really know? I mean, there's a lot of great like Black community groups, Latino groups, but like even if you mention Asian, there's only like maybe Chinese, Korean, or Japanese, like those top three.
And Filipino, there's great.
Oh yeah, and Filipino, like that's another big Asian.
And
like,
nothing bad on them. It's just. There's no, like...
They just have a better, bigger community.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, how do we create something that's for everyone, but also, like, kind of showcasing maybe some light on maybe some of the other Asian cultures or traditions or other ethnicities that don't always get the light. But outside of that, so a little bit about me and how Asian Party came to be and how I ended up in LA. I actually wanted to, I've always wanted to live in California. I also always knew that I wanted to be on the West Coast. I knew that from like age 5. Actually, no, I lied. Probably from like age 3 or something, because I used to like watch the Britney Spears concert video all the time. Like it's the one where she like singing on stage, but then also has special features.
Girl, me too.
Yeah. So she's like,
I used to own that shit on VHS.
Yeah, and I would watch
show.
it all the time. And then and then it was so fancy because they used to have the music videos too, like in there as special features. So like so fancy. Anyways, I knew I always wanted to be a pop star growing up, so I wanted to get to the West Coast, and that's basically what I've been doing my whole life. So same thing. I always kind of joke with people. I tell people that I've always been a very respectful, like, understanding, good daughter, but I went against my mom and them, like, respectfully. So, like, when I was supposed to be, like, doing music or art or not supposed to be doing that stuff, I would do it, but on the low.
Yeah.
Like, in my bedroom or, like, at night or in the morning. So, basically kind of pursuing into my career. Once again, I also was 25. Funny enough to, well, not 25, I was 24. And I was like crying and sad. And my boyfriend at the time, who is now my fiance, not my ex, my fiance now, he basically was like, let's do it. Let's move. And I was like now? And he's like, yeah, this summer, let's do it. Let's pack everything. Let's go. And I was like, all right, let's do it. We're on board. So we basically packed everything. I sold everything from my house. With my apartment. My house, but I didn't own it. I was renting at the time with my roommate. And we made the move across the country. 3-day drive. So long, but worth it.
Okay, hold on. Which route did you take?
I don't even. People be like, which route is it? I'm like, bro, I took the route that GPS gave me. The one that Google said this way. This is the fastest way. But it's the way I went. Jesus, I was like going this way, and then I went through Colorado.
That's exactly how Asian people kind of share how their directions.
Oh, really?
We go this way, we go that way,
And then they go in the Colorado.
and then we go in the mountain.
And they're like, and then
You see the mountains, take a left.
For real, that's literally, and they were like, and then don't step on your brakes and step on the dirt. So it's just a whole thing. But finally, after a 30-day drive and a whole summer of manifesting and everything, I made it out here to LA. And we moved here in September of last year, so September 2021. Then we got invited, my fiance and I, we got invited to a Thanksgiving party at our friend Greg's house. And then that is where I met this little lady who, I kid you guys not.
Tell me your first impression.
Bro, I'm swear to God, I'm moving this pop filter. When I first met Nikki, you guys, I deadass was just like in the room. We came early because I don't play that. I play on time. I try to be respectful. No Hmong time, no Asian time, no nothing. I try to be on time. She was running Hmong time. I was there.
I brought you guys lobster and crab legs though.
You brought the lobster?
I brought the lobster.
You brought the crab legs?
And the crab legs.
What the?
I made that shit from.
Dude, that shit was good. All right, I'll give you that.
And the Hmong pepper.
I didn't know that was you. Oh, and Hmong pepper. Okay, respect. But I kid you guys not. I literally, we're just like chilling. We came early, do the Hmong thing, whatever. And then I kid you not, she comes through the door, and the first thing I see is her, cause she's like loud. She's like, "Hey you guys! Oh my God! Da, 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 da." And it's not a bad thing. Like I love bitches who are loud. Like I love loud bitches. Okay, so I'm sitting here. I'm like, I can't even do my headphone right, but I see her, and immediately I was like, she caught my attention. Like her energy, she was just so vibrant, so talkative, so fresh. She's laughing right now. I'm giving her all types of compliments. She's like, I'm just kidding. She knows.
So, you guys know, you don't understand. I was so freaking loud that night. I was so obnoxious, like especially when we played Mafia. I was so loud.
I was only there for I think like a session or two, so I probably but yes, that's literally like when I met her. Immediately, like, I don't know if you've, when they say like, okay, this is weird to say, like, I'm not trying to be creepy, but you ever be like, oh, you fall in love on the first sight? I did. Like, if you experience that with a female, I experienced that on sight, like, love at first sight with a female. So I was like, oh my God. And I literally have been trying to find somebody like Nikki, like, my whole life, which is so hard to say. But I was like, so funny enough, that night when I went home, my boyfriend, fiance now, was like, did you see that girl? I was like, yes, I did. And he was like, are you going to be friends with her? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to be creepy about it. I'm not going to be like, hey, you want to be friends? I'm going to naturally let it happen. And naturally it did. So Nikki and I obviously we ended up having like another girls brunch, I think a few weeks later, with like all of the Hmong girls that we met in LA. Mm-hmm. And then that's kind of where we kind of started off our friendship. So just kind of started like connecting, networking, and started doing stuff like that. And we both obviously had like similar intentions, but we just didn't know what we could both come together on. Because, like I'm obviously like a content creator, influencer, and I do social media stuff. And Nikki's also kind of like getting into the game, and she has a lot of knowledge about just like industry stuff and like business. So it was just like, this was perfect. And I kid you guys not, I was literally in this room. I swear to God, I probably was sitting in the same exact spot. And Nikki was like, okay, girl, I have an idea. And she's like, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say an idea. And she was like, I'm thinking, I heard this the other day, and she's like, and I think this would be so awesome if we did one for us. I'm like, okay. She's like, so Asian party. And I was like, what? And she was like, hear me out.
Listen.
Listen. No, I'm gonna let her explain it. This is her story.
No. You explain it. But I was like, no, hold that thought. Listen.
She was like, hold on. I'm like, Asian party. I'm like, girl, you gave me 2 words. What does that mean? Like, are we partying? Are we? She told me like, she's like, have you heard of Black Party? And I'm like, no. She's like, it's this like really awesome like.
Oh, that's right.
What is like a platform or a group?
Oh no, it's an artist.
An artist. Oh, okay. Not even completely. And she just went off of that, like conceptualized off of that. It was like Black Party. Let's do something with Asian people because we don't have anything. And just when she brought that up, I was like, that is so smart, right? Like, there's not a lot of things going on for Asian people. I mean, there is a little bit, but we can always have more stuff going on. And I'm like, an Asian party sounds lit. It sounds fun, and not just. Like, Asian party is not just gonna be like, oh, just a podcast. Like, we want to build this mainstream big, like if we get lucky, hello, no, we're not gonna get lucky, we're gonna put in the work. That's what we're gonna do.
Putting in the
but
work.
Ideally is the goal to like really get people out here too, to also be able to learn about the industry, better themselves, and really just you know, just connecting and networking with other people. Yeah. So that's kind of what Asian Party is. That's kind of where we kind of came along and kind of how we got started. But yeah, we are actually going to take a really quick break and swap our cameras, and we'll be right back.
Asian Party.
All right, hey you guys, and we're back on Asian Party. Thank you guys for waiting for those few seconds. So basically, just to wrap up from what we were talking about before, just kind of Asian Party, and why now? So Nikki and I obviously met each other, and it just seemed like the right time, and we're super excited. So we're basically launching this platform. Outside of that, we also wanted to talk a little bit about, well, I know we completely missed it in the beginning, but if you guys don't already know, for those of you guys who don't know us personally, we are actually Hmong. And I know some of you guys are like, what is that? We are something. If you guys have ever seen Gran Torino, that's a Hmong movie with tons of Hmong people.
Exactly.
If you've ever seen
the Olympics,
we got Sunisa Lee.
Yep.
That girl is Hmong. So representing
Lee Clan. Rap.
So Nisa Lee. Also, if y'all ever watched the Batman movie, the Batman Returns one, the one where he goes into the basement, he saves the people in the basement. There's a Hmong girl in there.
And
she goes,
Dale.
Bombeo, which is literally help us in Hmong. And that was like the most. I literally went to go watch Batman 3 times just because of that line. Because that's the first time I've ever seen a Hmong person.
She and where is she? Like, I'm so curious about where she's at.
Yeah.
What she's doing.
Yes. And she's Hmong.
Yeah.
So, like, that's
so
dope.
Cool.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's what this platform is for. So, but yeah. So, we're Hmong. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I guess a little bit backstory on Hmong people is I mean, like, so I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but
she's a great storyteller.
Ideally, what technically really happened is like Hmong people were originally technically from like the mountains of China, and then Chinese came over, like took over and wanted to do communism, and then Hmong people were like, nah. So Hmong people fled the mountains of China and then ended up going to like Thailand and Vietnam and Laos, and then that's when the Vietnam War happened. During the Vietnam War, America was like, we're gonna help you, and we're like, yeah, and then they were like, just kidding. And then they dipped. And then when they dipped, then the Hmong people were like, well, we're going to dip too. So some of them ended up immigrating. Is it immigrating? Migrating? Migrating to the U.S. And a lot of them settled, obviously, in like California, Wisconsin,
Minnesota. It was this is like in the 1970s during the Secret War.
Yep, the Secret War.
The Hmong people have been in the United States for a little over 40 years now. Right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Well,
it's awesome. We're here now. It's 2022.
And we're still here.
Yes.
Making moves. We made it to the Olympics. It took 40 years. But yeah, so I'm like, so that's a little bit history about us. I mean, another big person, which if you guys probably don't know, but you guys probably will know, fun to know, Brenda Song from Disney Channel.
Brenda Song.
Was also half Hmong and I think half Laos. I think she was Lao too, half Lao, I think. I could be wrong. But I know she was a little bit Hmong, half Hmong or something. And that really, really excited me. But yeah, so as I'm a Hmong Vang, by the way. So in the Hmong community, we have 12 clans. Technically,
we have 18.
18. Just kidding. Don't listen to me. 18. But honestly, we only see like 12 of them. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm a Vang, and Nikki is a...
I am a Hmong Lee.
She's a Lee. So, yeah. And fun fact, for those in our culture, you cannot marry anybody with your same last name, technically, because that's, like, taboo. So, yeah. So, I'm a Vang. And then...
I was born into... I mean, not born, but I was, Lee.
Yep.
As a Lee.
Yep. And you're also...
But I'm also Lao. So I actually don't have, it's such a long story. I feel like my backstory about like my last name and who I am, and like I also found out some new stuff about like my father and who he is and who I am. And so that's going to be for another time where I can talk about it. But basically I'm half Hmong and I'm half Lao. In the Lee clan, I have the Lee last name, but I also grew up with my mom's side of the family too, which is Hmong Vang. So, I carry a lot of the Hmong Vang traits.
That makes sense. Vangs are wild. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. We loud and we wild and we think we know everything. We think we don't. We do. I'm looking at all the camera. I was like, I know y'all bangs out there watching this. Y'all can agree. Y'all know.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a little bit of backstory. I think, we'll also talk about the Hmong community and our culture and our traditions a little bit more every episode if
that's what y'all want to hear.
Yes, if that is what you guys want to hear. We would love feedback as well. Any type of feedback, good, bad, or ugly, about, just like what you guys have to say about our platform as well, is all, greatly appreciated. But I get a lot of questions. I don't know about you, but you are the influencer. She is the influencer, badass, boss girl, boss woman, like female empowerment right here. I'm sure you get a lot of questions about being out here in LA, so I do too. Whenever I come back home, I visit home often, Minnesota. So a lot of people ask me, what's going on out there in LA? Who are you meeting? What are you doing? Is there Hmong people? Is there a lot of Asians?
Yep.
What do you do on the weekends? Is it really like that stereotypical Hollywood life? And we will dive deep into that too. As special guests come and join us.
Yes. But let's dive deep a little bit today. Mm-hmm. We keep talking about what we're going to do. Let's do something today. So tell me, what kind of questions have you gotten? Or what's a common question that you get?
A common question... A common question that I get is, do you really hang out with Duomo?
Oh, that's a good... Wow, I did not expect that one. That's so funny.
It's so funny because, he's, a really good friend of mine. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. And just kind of looking at the outside perspective, right? Back at home, he is, our role model.
For those of you guys who don't know Dua. Dua Moore is obviously one of the actors in Gran Torino. That was kind of one of the big break ones. After that, then he showed up obviously in the very famous Mulan live action, and he actually plays Po. So he's phenomenal, and he's awesome, and he's a really big light into the Hmong community, just because obviously, what Hmong person is a black star? Nobody but Dua Moore. So I can see that hype. That's why I'm like, damn, girl, people, I can see why people be asking you. They're like, you really kick it with Dua? What he be like? What he be doing? What he be eating,
he's
man?
Cool. Yeah, he's a really great friend. But yeah, no, I get those kinds of questions.
So do you hang out with Dua Moore a lot?
I do. Not a lot. We both got lives. He got his own life. He's busy. He's dedicated to his craft, especially when you're out here in Hollywood. And anyone who wants to come out here in Hollywood and become an actor, actress, dancer, singer, anything that is involved with the spotlight, you're going to be working. Yeah. And I think the number one thing out here, in my opinion, is if you are not focused and you're not staying consistent with your work, it's not going to happen. And so with Dua, he's always consistently working. He's consistently writing. I'm really proud of him. And we've only known each other for a short time too.
How long have you known him?
Oh gosh, not even a whole year.
Really?
Yeah, I think I met him in last November. Just it's been 11 months.
Oh, so it's literally during the same time we met.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, other questions that I get too is, does it snow? No, it does not snow in California. I think a lot of people, that's just what kind of question is that?
Well, it does snow in certain parts, but not LA. LA does not get snow. Mm-hmm. But I think, the more up north you go, I think you get more snow, Big Fresno, Sac? No?
No, I don't think it snows there. It's...
I heard it does snow in California. I just don't know where.
I don't think Fresno snows. We gotta ask someone in Fresno.
True.
It doesn't snow in Fresno.
You asking the Midwest people. We just moved to California, but I will tell you, since we've been here, we have seen no snow.
We gotta go visit Fresno and let you guys know. I really want to go to the Mont Picquiao, at the end of the year that they have. But no, it doesn't snow. It doesn't snow in December. Wait, I thought
Fresno already had their Mont Picquiao. Don't they do it during the summer? Because it's the Fresno Hmong New Year.
I thought that happens in December at the end of the year. No?
Actually, don't listen to me. I could be wrong. Yep. I don't know why I would even think in the summer. Why did I think it? Don't even ask.
I don't think there's nothing in the summer besides J4. But J4 is in. But J4
Oh,
is,
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, because we spent together J4.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just losing my track of thought.
So, yeah, but I mean, Fresno, they have the Mont Pecao, which is our Fresno New Year at the end of the year. I've been wanting to go to that. Mm-hmm. And so, at the end of the year, we have New Year's in November and December. Mm-hmm. I know in Minnesota, they hold, a huge New Year in November during Thanksgiving weekend, which is like a celebration of the harvest, our new calendar year.
Yeah.
And then we have it here too in California. We've got the Long Beach New Year, and then we also have the Fresno New Year.
Yeah.
So super excited to attend those. But
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of questions that I get at the top of my head that I can think about. There's more, but I don't know why I can't think about it. But
Yeah.
what about you?
I think a very common question is it expensive? Yeah. Hell yeah. I will be straight up. I paid like $1,200 for a 3-story home. Three story, sorry, 2-bedroom, two-story, 3-bedroom home. I cannot speak correctly. But out in California, you will literally pay the same price for a studio. Like $1,200, and that's minimum. Mm-hmm. That's the minimum. You cannot get under that. If you get under that, you're renting a room. Mm-hmm. Like literally, you could be like, oh, apartment, and it'll be like shared space. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's expensive. So I think like the only reason I feel people really truly invest in themselves and come out here is because they're doing it for the dream, the hustle, the passion, the fire, the hunger. If you are not coming out here for that, and you're really coming out here just to live out here, why? Unless you're trying to make a lifestyle out of that. So I will be honest, it is expensive. But the other question to ask is it possible to live here? Yes, it is very possible. It's just being smart about your money, being intentional about with what you do. That way you're not just going out waving money like, oh my God, let's go get drinks. Because I kid you not, literally a drink in California, like one shot in California is like $10.
Oh, yeah.
$8, like $8 to $10. So you could literally be like, huh, I got you, girl. Mm-hmm. You don't got the team. You got one person. Everybody got a partner. That's what you're gonna do. I got your drink. You got my drink. I'm not buying it for 5 people. That's what
exactly.
Or everybody just buy one round. Like everybody gets one round.
Yeah.
That's one question I get. Another question is like, have you run into celebrities or anybody famous? I have not run into celebrities, but I did run into quite a few like well-known people. I think the first one was Brandon. So I love him so much, but he's basically like a martial artist, kung fu TikTok guy. Oh. And I ran into him in Chinatown. So literally I caught him in the middle of like test trying food, and I was just like, can I get a picture with you? And he's like, oh yeah. And then I like took a pic with him, and it was funny. Yeah, whoever he was with, I don't know his family or his friends, but they were like taking pics of us. So they're probably like, oh, look at him getting like his pic taken. Oh, he's so famous or whatever. But I was stoked. The other famous person, which I don't even know what their name is, but my friend Billy was with me at the time, and we were in Halloween and Hollywood Boulevard, and he was like, oh my God, do you see that guy? And I was like, who's that? And he was like, he's a race car driver, like da da da. And I was like, what? So I was literally following this man around the costume store trying to get like a picture or video for my friend. Try not to be creepy, I'm just like click click click, like, and then walk away without making a sus.
I can totally see you doing that.
And I'm like, here you go, Billy. I took pics for you. And he was like, oh, thanks. It's just literally like just like the picture of his pants. Like I didn't even get the freaking guy's face because I was trying to be fast. But that was like the second closest thing I've gone. I have gone to the Grove, which is actually one of the popular malls that people say celebrities go to a lot, and I've heard that too.
It's not a farmer's market. Just letting you guys know. It says it's a farmer's market.
Does it?
No. It's not a farmer's market.
It does. It does have a cute little farmer's market near it, but it's actually a really bougie place.
It's bougie.
Super bougie.
I like all the restaurants, but for the record, it is not a farmer's market. Like me.
You seem really pressed about this. Did you go there thinking it was going to be a farmer's market?
Yes. I mean, I've been trying to find farmer's markets out here. I was so disappointed. I was like, this ain't no
right now, please do us a favor and drop some farmer's markets in Los Angeles so that Nikki and I can go and put it in the podcast, because she clearly is super pressed about this.
I need the organic vegetables.
Oh, shoot.
That's where I'm like, that's what I really want. Is
I love
find
that.
A farmer's market with the vegetables. So
I love that. I love that so much. Okay. All right. So Wow, that's amazing. I'm like, we're kind of wrapping up now a little bit on the Asian party.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes left.
Yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much for watching, and we're super excited to bring you guys more content. Also, let us know what you guys, if you guys have any questions that we can answer, about anything LA, the Asian community, what we're doing out here, me specifically, her specifically. We'd love to, continue on and really engage with you guys too.
Yes. So please, if you guys enjoyed today's podcast, drop a heart below. And also, if you have any questions at all, drop them below. Anything related to Los Angeles, whether you be in Hmong, unless you got questions about doing more, which, hey, bring it through. Because anything and everything, right? But yes, so thank you guys so much for joining us today for the first ever episode of Asian Party, and we're so excited. Make sure you guys check us out for the next episode, which will be released in 2 weeks from now on Monday. So we'll catch you guys. This podcast, okay, so Asian Party will be released every Monday, just so y'all know, and then all the cool kids are gonna be there, so
yeah,
be there or be square. All right? All right.
yeah.
Okay, on 3, Asian Party. 1, 2, 3.
Asian Party!
Asian party.